Hey everyone, how's it going? It's that nerd Ryan here, and I've seen an image floating around YouTube, or Facebook really, lately, and it got me thinking. So the question is, can Jedi lift Thor's hammer with the Force? So today we're going to be talking about if that's possible for a Marvel video. Then tomorrow we're going to talk about which Star Wars characters I think are worthy to pick up Thor's hammer regardless. So we're talking Mjolnir here. We're not talking Stormbreaker, because I believe anybody could pick up Stormbreaker. Not sure if that's 100% true, but that is my opinion. So we're going to be talking about Mjolnir. So can it happen? So we'll talk about what Mjolnir is and what the Force is, and we'll go from there. So Mjolnir is the magical hammer of Thor. There's a conduit for lightning. Thor is the god of lightning, not the god of hammers. So he can basically use Mjolnir or Stormbreaker as a conduit to aim his lightning powers. Also, it is made of Uru, which is a magical metal that dwarves use to make Asgardian weapons. It is imbued with, I guess you could say, a curse or magic, allowing only those who are worthy of the title Thor to carry the hammer. In the MCU, we have seen Thor himself, Odin, Hela, Captain America, and Jane Foster hold Mjolnir. So, what qualifies for holding Mjolnir, we will get into tomorrow, since that is what we're actually asking. However, we're now going to discuss the Force. So for my Marvel viewers that don't watch my Star Wars videos, go and watch those. We're going to explain the Force. So what the Force is it is a energy field in the Star Wars universe that binds everything together. There is two versions of the Force, basically. I mean, it's all the same thing, but there's the living Force that is basically everybody and what binds everybody and brings them together and allows Jedi to manipulate it. And then there's the more scientific view of the Force, which is counting little bacteria in your bloodstream known as midichlorians. Usually those with high midichlorian counts can become Jedi. We try not to talk about that. But yes, it's turned into a mystical thing, into a sci-fi thing. So let's talk about it on the mystical aspect. So basically Jedi and Sith are space wizards that are able to manipulate things to an extent using the Force. So for example, you can mind trick somebody. If you are a Sith, you can use Force Lightning. If you are a Sith, you can also manipulate the Force, or dark side user, you can manipulate the Force to choke people. You can pull or push or summon objects using the Force. You can also use it to help temporarily levitate. You can also use it to jump very far, run very fast. Some people can do very special things with the Force. I wouldn't get into it now just because the list can go on and on and on. And you can use it to levitate items, and in Lego Star Wars, rebuild items. But yeah, and you can do so much with the Force. So the question here is, can you use it to lift Mjolnir? Being that the person that wields it has to be worthy to be Thor, and the Force, you can just use the Force to lift basically any object. The highest extent that we have of lifting or manipulating an object with the Force is ships. And why I say that is, if we look at canon, the biggest ship that was held was a freighter by Darth Vader in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, where he pulled it down from the sky and slammed it on the ground and started tearing it apart. Or if we look at Legends, it would be Starkiller with the Star Destroyer. However, to look at that and compare it to the MCU, there is a point where the Hulk, who has probably the most strength in the world of the MCU, was not able to lift Mjolnir at all. He was actually pulling himself into the ground trying to lift Mjolnir. So, the question is, would the Force be doing the same thing? Would the Force be manipulating everything else around Mjolnir if a Jedi is trying to lift it? We also I forgot to add on Vision being able to hold Mjolnir, because there is a whole debate that Vision is a machine. So is he worthy, or is it just because he is not a living being? And that also answers partially the Force question. If it's called the living Force, that means that it's living, which means that it must be worthy. So, depending on the worthiness of the Jedi or Sith, I believe that the Force has no factor in being able to lift Mjolnir at all. So that is what we are talking about today. I do not believe that the Force has any effect in lifting Mjolnir or not, because it is the living Force. So tomorrow we're going to go through 5 characters in the Star Wars universe that I think can lift Mjolnir. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and follow me on all my social media down below. It's that Nerd Ryan telling you, have a nice day.